Howdy y'all, welcome to another edition of Getting Outdoors, and we are here at Covington's Nursery, and we're going to pick up all of our plants for our spring. So it is March, what's today's date? March 9th, and so we're going to pick up tomatoes, some squash. Anyway, let's go inside, let's see what they have, and we'll talk about some of the different selections of plants that we're going to be getting today and getting our beds all prepared. All right, so we're inside now, and we have a couple different varieties of different tomatoes. So like this here is an early girl hybrid. We've got some cherry tomatoes, some beefsteak. So we're going to get a selection of them. But one thing I do want to kind of just maybe remind you about is if you can get local grown plants, your starter plants, these are ones that are adapted to the climate. We're here in North Texas, and this is good for that. So as you see, all in here, all these plants here that are in the white, these are all local grown ones, okay? But if you look, back in here, you've got more tomato plants and everything else that has a green or red. So local grown is always the best, but if there's a certain one that they have that I like, which I do, we'll get some of those. So we're going to get here and then let you know exactly what we've picked out. All right, so now we're back home from getting all of our vegetables and soil. So we have about 40 plants here, 3 bags of fertilized garden soil that we'll be able to mix up with the existing soil. Now, one thing that you always want to do, I forgot to say this, is that before you go and get all your plants, is kind of plan out your garden ahead of time so you know exactly how many plants that you have. What we're going to do now, first of all, is change, because the garden is quite wet right now. But we're going to get out there, we're going to place each of the vegetables where they need to go before we dig into the ground on a single one. That way we know our spacing is right, that way we know where the water's going to go and all that. So we're going to get it all laid out there. Now, so another question that you may have is that, this is actually, today's the 10th, not the 9th that I said earlier. It is early for planting some of these, and it is kind of taking a risk. But as you'll be able to see in the Ruth Stout garden method, I've got about this much hay going into where these plants are going to go. So they're going to get buried down. They're going to have that hay coming around. They're going to have some nice insulation around them. The ground, the soil's already wet. And I just looked at the next 2-week forecast, and there's no frost or anything that should be coming to hurt any of these plants. If there are at any point in time, then I'll have a sheet. You can use those on any kind of garden sheets. You can use a tub. You can use anything that just keeps that wet moisture and wind off of them. So we'll go ahead and get these all set out and planted, and we'll check back with you later. All right, so we got the gardens planted. Again, this is the upper garden, and that's kind of that we'll call the outside or lower garden out there. And kind of let me go through what we planted today. So we've got cherry tomatoes, regular tomatoes, big beef tomatoes. Got a bunch of squash, a bunch of zucchini. I think that's what in here. We already had some lettuce and strawberries growing in here. In the outside garden, we have some spaghetti squash. We got some watermelon, some cantaloupe. We got a bunch of cucumbers, and then we got our bell peppers out there. And again, since the temperature is still kind of cold, you can see it's still kind of cloudy. What we've done is when we've come in and we've planted, I went ahead and see this has got that deep mulch all the way down in there. So I just kind of gone in, put this right around there. That should keep everything insulated really well. Keep the ground at a level temperature. Hopefully it start getting a little bit more warmer and warmer as we go along. So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the little bell out there so that way you can get a progression of exactly how this garden is going to go this spring. Talk to y'all later.